to the lab. It's me Dan, and today we'll be doing the deck profile for the Zenith Aibou SD. Well, this is more of the upgraded version of the SD, and I'm very excited to take these to the qualifiers because apparently there's been some that get them all. It has proven to be very solid, although half the time I've only been testing with Zeta. But with the other matchups, it actually doesn't do that bad, or rather it actually has good matchups against almost everything aside from the occasional white control because we don't have armor pierce, or strike worm because we don't have armor pierce, but that is not an issue for this deck because our win con does not require us to literally clear the field, but we can clear it if we want to. So yeah, let's get started. First we have 3 of our Partner Aibou. So Aibou has a Soul State, Corinoto, Spirito, Flash, TOPXIC or Awaken that lets you move call from your field or reserve to your Spirits or Nexuses, or rather you only can move to 1. Yeah, you can move to 1 Spirit or Nexus, then Heart once per turn, you gain 1 count. If it's your deck step, you gain an additional 1 more count. And its second skill is during either player's attack step when your spirits become level 2 because of Kakse, you get to draw 1 card. So the purpose of this is that the first skill lets you add count on both players' turns, which is very good because so far there hasn't been a red deck that can consistently increase count on both players' turns. So him being the first of his kind is very strong. He's 1 cost, so that is also very fast. He just drops down obviously on turn 1. You can technically have 2 copies also on the board and you can stack the second skill, because the second skill is not hard once per turn, it's once per turn per copy. So if you have 2 on field, then you make 1 level 2, both will trigger and then both will draw you a card. So you can get +1 count, +2 draw, or +2 count, +2 draw, which is insane rates for a 1 costed Aibou. So he's very strong. Yeah, and the fact that he can rush count with it quickly makes it super easy to reach 6 count for our key cards. Okay, so the first one is the 3 copies of Siegfried XV. We have 3 XVs here because we are rushing to get this guy out because he can eat count with his Dragon Emperor Kakse, because he can pull 2 calls from the count area or your spirits to himself. If you done so, he refreshes and destroys the highest BP opposing spirit ultimate and 1 Nexus. So okay, don't destroy anything because the destroys are optional, but of course you want to use this to clear your opponent's biggest monster, biggest spirit. And he can stack on Aibou because Aibou is a assault contract, TOPXIC. So yeah, so we're taking Guts Advent here to stack on Aibou, and with Siegfrieden's release coming in in November, I'm very excited to see what can the Siegs provide this list. And his second skill is during Brave and Advent. During your attack step, when opposing spirit ultimates are being destroyed, or Nexuses as well, by paying 1 cost, send 1 life. You send 1 opposing life to the trash. We may this effect is nice because a lot of the times we'll be destroying stuff in our attack step, but it doesn't. The best part is it doesn't need to be his own effect. It doesn't need to also be during his attack. It's just during your attack step. So he can just sit one corner and you know, casually have life burn. That's how strong he is. So as long as he's braved and during advent, yeah, you can shoot life to trash, which is really nice because this deck does a lot of life snipe, so you want to send calls to trash so that they don't have many responses to use against the life decrease, which happens very often, so that is very strong. The next Seek we're running is the 3 copies of Zenith. This guy is from the starter deck. Instead of a your turn Corin with XV, he's either player attacks that Corin. So he can be used defensively or aggressively, depending on your choosing. On Corin and on attack, destroy the highest BP opposing spirit ultimate. Additionally, during this battle, when this spirit becomes level 3, if it's during your attack step, hard once per turn, send 2 life to the reserve. So the cool thing about this card is that the send life to reserve is not on OC. So you can just rush the 6 count and then get him to level 3. You're sending 2 life already. Again, it doesn't need to be him attacking, it just needs to be the battle that he's stacked on, or if he's attacking, the battle he's attacking on. So he is the same thing as XV in the sense that they don't need to be the attacking unit to send lives. As long as you trigger the conditions, they can send life during your attack step, which is insane. Very insane. He also has a second skill, which is the OC. When during OC and Advent, hard once per turn, when your red Seeks would leave the field by opposing effects, then you add 1 call from Void to both your life and this spirit. Those spirits stay on the field in the same position. So if you have both on field, and this one were to like be destroyed or sent to bottom deck, you can actually use this guy to add 1 call to here and 1 call to life, then this guy will stay. So it's quite insane because the things you can do is that you attack with him, use whatever you want to do with him, then your flash you stack this, and after that you shift the call over, shoot life, or use this refresh to shoot life. If they have any hand trap to remove either one of them, then he will protect the both of them, and then after that you just continue the swing. So that's very, very strong in of itself. So I'm very glad that Zenith came out the way he is. He can be used defensively also, so he can just boop, destroy one, then block the other. He's quite chunky. But I don't think he's as chunky as XV. XV is damn chunky. Yeah, XV is 30k 5 core at like max power. This guy is like 5k less. But to be fair, one is a XV, one is a SD X-Ray, so I'm not gonna complain too much. So for the other events, we run 3 copies of each Night Guard. Sorry, this is Night Guard. That is Rotor Blader Guard. So the reason why these two are here is because firstly, Night Guard is for retrieving all our dead Seeks. Although we have 6 copies, so shouldn't need retrieval, but there are times where we are discarding with his effect to go in aggressively or with our Rotor Blader. Because Rotor Blader can discard one. By discarding 1 card from hand, you destroy a Spirit Ultimate with lower BP than him. So you could technically stack 4 count for Rotor Blader, then go on top of Aibou, clear some of the board, discard hand, then attack. He's on attack, draws 1. If he's brave, he draws an extra 1. So basically, it's like, so the deck is so interactive with Aibou as the chibi because you can do so much during your attack step. It's relatively insane. So getting your resources back during your attack step or during your main step, and then you take back the Brave, and the Brave is absolutely busted. We will get to that later. So yeah, that's why we run 2 Rotor Bladers and 3 Night Guard. Although I see people run like not this guy, they run the SD cost 6 because it's another form of removal if they can't get to 6 count and jump to this guy. But this list that I have has no issues getting to 6. Unless I see Jammer, I think even if I do see Jammer, I don't really see an issue. for this deck, because as long as I get to my attacks, as long as I have something to attack with, I definitely can gain count. That's how this deck is. I can even hard spawn this if I have to, so that's not the really biggest issue I'm facing here. Yeah, the reason why I say this deck kinda maybe would cry seeing Jammer is because if they see this card, they'll definitely heavy exhaust it. So this is Drago Thief. This is supposed to be guts support. But what I like about this guy is on attack he can draw 1, discard 1. If you discard a Scarlet Flame family card, then you get +2 count. +2 count. So basically he's like Inno Racer in a deck step. But with Aibou, you can technically just attack with him, gain 2 count, and after that you sack it to the Aibou to draw another 1. So you get 4 count in that one interaction right there. So I think that's very strong, because you can turn 1 summon you can go first, turn 1 summon Aibou, go to 1 count. Second turn you get this guy out, then you swing, you draw and discard any Scarlet Flame, then gain 2 count, use his effect, sack him, gain another 2 count. Then you within that 2 turns you gain 5 count, which is not bad already, because it kind of gives you access to almost everything except the XVs. So the last 1 count you can technically get it on your opponent's turn. So that is how strong Aibou is as a chibi, because you can technically not even kill this guy, you can just put the cost here so that he becomes level 2, and then you draw extra 1, and then after that during your opponent's turn, if this is not dead, then the first flash timing you do is to send it over and then gain 1 core, you send the call back, and then you draw a card. So basically you always reach 6 in the span of like 2.5 turns. Their turn, my turn, their turn. Yeah, about 2.5 turns. So yeah, but if you're going second, you could also technically do the same as you can. If you're going second, you can pay 1, pay 2, then 1, then attack, do the thing, go to 2, use the skill, go to 4, so within your first turn going second you get 4 count already. So it's very very strong. That's why Jammer will hit this if they see this, so it's also partially why people don't like running him. But he's cheaper than the Mammoth, and Mammoth is high cost. Not always I will have a back row, so this guy is like a backup plan. And I don't run Mammoth in this list because going to this guy is a lot easier than going to the Mammoth. I may run both in future lists, but for now I'm sticking to this at 3 because I think it's too good. It's too good. Next we run the 3 copies of Lavidet. This deck wants cores, and the way the deck works, you can use Aibou on opponent's turn to get this guy out earlier, then come to your turn, you activate the skill again, you get a second one. So you can technically ship 1 life to Void, do whatever you want, move all the core, kill this, then gain the count already, go into the second one, swing, shoot life to Void again, then kill it off, then go into XV or Zenith, then they just die from life snipe, pure life snipe. So that's why, as I mentioned earlier in the video, the deck doesn't necessarily have to kill everything on the table, because they have outs to go around those and just, you know, life burn the guy to death. Battle Saber. This is the best engage I have ever seen for red, especially with Aibou as the chibi for target, because 1, it braves to any Scarlet Flame, so you can brave the chibi, you can brave to the cost 3s, dodge Jammer. Oh, insane. The best part is you can do this. Jammer this, sure fam, I don't even need him, he just needs to be alive. Swing, draw 2, discard 1, kill 1 thing smaller, gain 2 count, flip Red World because he can be 6 count with this entire interaction, and then after that if you want to kill him off, you can. If you want to hit in, you can hit in. There's like no harm. It's like that's the anti-Jammer play for me. I don't need the Mammoth for this, although the Mammoth is also good because the Mammoth straight up gives you 2 count without any loss of hand. This guy needs to draw and discard 1 hand, and needs to discard Scarlet Flame. So that's why the deck is built as such. But if you are running Mammoth, then I will definitely... If you're running Mammoth, I'm taking out the Night Guard for the other caustics, most likely, because that's the easiest way for the deck to get 3 count, and then the caustics can be used immediately. So that's probably the thought process for them. But yeah, he has the strongest engage because when you engage, you brave to a pre-advent Aibou, specifically the mouse. You can take all your cards from trash back to the spirit. So basically, it's granting you an extra main step / extra turn before attack step. I would rather say extra main step in this scenario because you get your refresh that main. So it's a free refresh that main essentially for 2 costs, and that is freaking insane. It's once per game, right? But done right, it's super game breaking. It's basically an extra turn. So I'm so happy that they made this the way it is. He also has an on deck 1 draw and kill smaller than the current BP of this thing. And during Corin and Brave, if you have 6 count, this gains 1 symbol. So this is really nice. You put it on the XVs, it's 2 symbols. You put it on the Zenith, it's also 2 symbols. So it's very nice. It needs to be in Corin for it to get the extra symbol. So that's the note you have to take note of if you want to punch for more. But if you are not in Corin, doesn't matter. The 1 draw, destroy 1 lowest for 2 costs, 3 minus 1. It's so cheap, it's so strong. I'm loving it so much. Okay, so this is the Nexus from the PC. If you don't have this, you can technically run that 1 Nexus from the SD that gives you automatically +1 count on deploy. But I feel this is a lot better because this is the half Mammoth, and it's also the reason why I don't like Mammoth as much. Because Mammoth takes back 5 core, then why are you going to take back with this? You technically could use this take back core first and then use the Mammoth, but then it's like you're wasting so much core just to do all that. So start of the next step, move 2 core from trash to your Spirits with Kakse, most likely anything with mouse. Or if you decide to run any of the cards from the new SD, you can also move the cost to them. And then if you have mouse, you get to draw 1 card. And that's freaking insane because not that the deck ever suffered with end of attack step problems because of the way it works, but having access to the cannot end attack step basically is saying that if you don't have bloodshed, don't talk to me. So yeah, that's how great this card is. It's 1 draw, gain back core, cannot end attack step. So that's why it's in here. It's also Scarlet Flame Nexus, so that you can abuse with Aibou to bounce the core back and forth to gain count. 3 copies of Adera, straightforward, +1 count, extra draw. Basically this is live by the time you want to use the skill. Let's say if you go first, actually go second actually. So go second, use this +1 count, summon Aibou swing. Or if you have enough core for the Drago Thief, then the Drago Thief will be out. It will be second turn then, but so you Aibou attack, gain 2 count, draw 1, then after you shift the core back, then next turn you can do the draw on this card. Then by the next turn, if you got this out super early, then it will have the skill life. But if you are playing it right, the deck right, you technically, once you deploy this, the next instance you're gonna use the skill, you will be drawing 2 straight off the bat, because that's how fast this deck generates count, and it's great. Okay, for defense magics, we run 4, 2 of each, 2 silent walls and 2 diamond walls. The silent walls can become burst walls, but I like silent wall because it has the 1 rainbow reduction with hand unaffected. So it's like burst wall because it has hand unaffected, but it's not the same as burst wall because I have to cast this in flash timing, rather than burst wall is like on life decrease for both the burst and the hand trap effect. So if you guys want to run burst wall, it's also recommended. I just want to try this silent wall first because there are scenarios where the silent wall does help with the additional other text that during this battle you don't take damage. Yeah, またはこのバトルの間自分のライフは減らない。So basically it has you can cast both at once to essentially get an instant stop But of course, you wouldn't want to cast both once you want to use one to end the attack step, and then the diamond walls actually are here to restand my stuff as well, because you can refresh a spirit, or if I have one count or more during this turn, my life can only be reduced by 1. So that is why I'm running these two. Again, you can change this for burst ball. It's fine. It probably will be better, but I'm just messing around with we need Cynomore first. So our one-offs, we run the 1 TOPXIC, 1 Vibrani, 1 Judgment Snake, 1 Spritzer, 1 Mark 6, and 1 Red. Well, these two I won because they are limited, so we don't need to. I don't need to explain much. This draws me 2 cards when I hit 2 count or more, and I have a red symbol, which is like obviously, and this guy gives me extra damage, extra spirit clears, and extra symbols for cost 5 and above red spirits. Originally cost 5 and above red spirits. So that's why these two are still here, because although they are limited to 1, they pack so much power for the deck, especially on an aggressive turn with Aibou. Okay, now these 4 are the sort of like flex slots. You can technically not run these, but I just run these because there are scenarios where I'll need them. Like, let's say I don't have my soul core, I have 7 count, I can use this as a removal or extender, because you can come down and either play as a deck step in flash and destroy an opposing spirit, ultimate or nexus that isn't red. So unless I'm in the mirror, this card will always have a target. So that is very, very nice to have. I don't get the new turn effect, but he is a double symbol beater and is a Sieg, so live long enough to kill my opponent. And the Judgment Snake, because we have most of our events other than Rotor Guard are cost 6, so any of them going down means this guy is gonna pop and pluck absolutely every core on the board. Almost every core, unless we're playing against green ramp, then that is a different story altogether. But this snake has done some work, although most of the time he's used offensively rather than defensively, so I appreciate it a lot. Though you can consider these two to be swapped out for 2 pieces of Judgment Dragonist. Yes, why? Because this deck can farm so much core with the XV, your Lavidet, and you can get a new turn with, you can get a new main step with Battle Saber. So Judgment Dragon to start a new turn, and then use all these busted once per turn skills again, mostly the XV and the Zenith, to shoot your opponent's life to reserve or gain more cores. Yeah, I think that's absolutely busted. So you can consider these two to be Judgment Dragonist, but for now, until I get my copies from back in Singapore, they will be these two. For extra removal and extender, I'm not gonna complain. It's still really good. The 1 Sprinter and 1 Mark 6 is for the very, very contingency scenarios. This is for the Ligers, because I hate Liger, especially when I'm not at 8 count. Unless I prep myself at 8 count, then I probably wouldn't even consider this dude at all. Maybe Farom, because Farom can technically stop this dude if I'm aggressively going in. So that's why he's here. He's here just for the Farom. If ever the meta becomes to the point where this deck is actually becoming the top deck. Although I'm not too sure, they haven't really released any charts yet with the SD in mind, but apparently he's creeping up, so I think it's about time people start running Farom for Zenith. I am probably also going to consider running Farom to try and counter the Zenith as well, because fighting against my own self, if I got pulled off the combo, then I am also gonna die, because this deck also can't last against that combo very well. Although it is possible to do it, it's just super hard. And then Mark 6 is for the very pesky Encorines that make me wanna cry. Technically Zenith you can cancel. You can cancel Zenith. With this, you can cancel the Shoot Life. Sort of. But you only can cancel it for that one battle. So you need to end the attack step after that, so that he cannot attack and then use the skill again to shoot your life. So this, yeah, so it's mostly for the people who aggressively go into Zenith and they don't have 8 count. You just use this to cancel it out and then make them suffer by pushing yourself. So that's why Mark 6 is still in this list. I love it. Although it doesn't have any target to become, these two are very dead if they don't proc, but they can just be discarded with our, not this guy, Night Guard or Rotor Guard to clear bodies or restand. So I am not gonna complain. Same for the Dragonish or these two. If they become dead cards, I can just discard them. So yeah, not too bad. So that is the entire Aibou deck profile. I am really loving this deck so far. I'm so excited to see what Siegfrieden will do so that I can add more cards to this list, haha. Or actually Diranos is also one of the possible cards, but I have a feeling it will be Siegfrieden because Topa used to use Siegfrieden. So I hope you guys enjoyed the mouse deck profile. Like what you see, do hit that like and subscribe, and also comment down below what deck you want to see next. I'll see you in the next one, guys. Done.